Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with a meditation. And I'll be coming out of the Bible, out of Proverbs chapter 31, verses 1 through 31. I'm going to try to get through it. Choose God this day. The bad guys, they sin. The good guys, we sin. We all sin. It's whom you serve. You don't have to be perfect. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with your consequences, good or bad. None of us get away from it. You may have issues that you deal with for the rest of your life, but if you come over to God's team with it, He can help you get through it. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. No one. And love yourself. Because if you love yourself, if no one else loves you, you'll be okay. And never give up on yourself. Never. If you lost everything you have, if you have yourself, you have everything. You can always rebuild. The words of King, if I don't say these names correctly, forgive me, Lemuel, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son? And what the son of my womb? And what the son of my vows? Give not thou strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him, and give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and right unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open thy mouth for the dumb in case of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and the needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Don't get on me for any of this, okay? I wasn't any of the scribes, okay? But we already know people aren't perfect, okay? And people do. We all kick it, and they don't make whatever. I'm not saying, I'm not going to go off into that aspect of it. So just let's don't get caught up, okay? The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchants. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. She's prepared. And see, we were taught that, and when I was coming up as children, even if you didn't have much, whenever you got money, you made sure you had food, stocked up on food, on the things the necessity things, the things that were going to sustain you and keep you going when you had a few dollars. So I grew up with that mindset. So I'm always making sure, even though I don't have a lot, when I get bulks of money, I make sure that certain necessities that I have are taken care of. And I don't care if it don't have to be expensive brands for me. As long as it's fulfilling the need that I have to, in my life for my house, that's what I do. But I try to be as prepared as I can too. And it's about being responsible. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. That's why we got to be prepared, and it's our obligation to be stewards, good stewards of our household. And there's nothing wrong with that. That just makes good sense. And I love and I enjoy watching some of you younger women who have your priorities in line, and your households in line, and you're married, and your kids are in or orderly. I get a kick out of that, And I commend you for that. I commend you for that. I wish I had it that way, but I did the best I could, you know, in the situation. But I'm excited to see households with moms and dads and their kids together. That's a blessing for the children. They'll grow up more balanced. If you don't have two people in the household, be a balanced person, you know, and make sure you maintain your household and take your kids to some sort of, I believe, my kids grew up in church. They had to go to church until they were a certain age, and I did stop making them. And you can say whatever you want to say, you know, and they also had to study Islam. And that's not, you know, because I wanted them to be able to understand different cultures of people. You know, they can take however, whatever they believe, they can just believe for themselves. They're grown men now. But I made them study religions. Actually, they studied Judaism too. Because the Old Testament is Judaism. My kids grew up studying 3 religions. I'm just saying. I don't consider myself a denomination anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. But I grew up as a Christian, though. And I love Christianity, you know. But I also love to study the other religions. I just don't want to have a denomination, you know. I love God, and I want people to be better, you know, and do better. Okay, she perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretches out her hands to the poor, yet she reaches forth her hands to the needy. And that was very important to me. See, I grew up, there's a lot of stuff that's in the Bible that people aren't aware that was in there. And they're acting all surprised about it. But the same stuff that they're talking about right now, we studied it. When you study the word, when you're really in the Bible, you know what it's saying. And I'm blessed that my mom made me do that. Made us go to church. My brothers had to go too until they were a certain age. But our church taught us the word. They read it. We had to look, even as little kids. They had us reading the word. When we started off, we had pictures and stuff like that, and they taught us what the pictures were. And they had words associated with each of the pictures, so they were teaching us how to read too. I'm just saying, it matters. Have an established set of routines in your household. You know, whatever your belief is. You know, whatever your religion. Be willing to hear what the other ones are talking about. You don't have to agree with it, but be willing to listen to them, at least, so you can learn something maybe. She stretches out her hands to the poor, yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her households are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth among the elders of the land. And the wife should compliment the husband. I believe in that. I'm for marriage. I wasn't blessed to have a good one, and my thing is, I'm not gonna go too deep into that. But we're supposed to be a blessing to our husbands, and if I ever had one again, I would do that for him. But I'm not going to remarry just for the sake again of having somebody. If they're not in alignment with God, I'm just not going to do it. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellence them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.